Alrighty, we should be live right now. I'll give it a few minutes for some people to get in here. Make sure it is working, but hello everyone, I'm Weston's Weatherwise, in case you were wondering. Thought I'd do a short little stream. It's been a hot minute since I've streamed, so if you are new here, please make sure to drop a sub, as we are so close to 100. Starting off, the Storm Prediction Center decided to go with a slight risk of severe weather across portions of Kentucky. This is accompanied with a 5% tornado risk. We have relatively low CAPE, which is instability, so that is not really a problem. The only thing driving this really is the shear, as we do actually have a special weather statement up here, so having to watch that. This is winter weather related up here in Washington and also in parts of Idaho. I see that you put a link in chat, Dominic. As you can tell, sorry, I was looking at what that link was, but as you can tell, we see some snow up here in portions of Idaho. Should not be accumulating too much out of that. We are more focused down here, so we will bring back high-res reflectivity. And I don't know why it is still on the winter weather radar, but we do have a few lightning strikes starting up down here. They are scattered. Okay, so there we go. But if we want to go ahead and dual pane this, and let me know in chat if I'm talking loud enough. I want to make sure. Luckily, we do not have any rotation on any of these storms yet, as we're hoping that we don't end up getting any rotation, as there is the shear threat, which is going to give us a chance, but highly unlikely that we actually get anything going. So we'll go back to single pane. As one thing that we need to talk about, though, too, is our ice storm warnings. These are up for 2 to 3/10 of an inch of ice from freezing rain and a coating of sleet. With that, I personally feel that anywhere in this area, any of those ice storm warnings could be seeing up to about 1/2 inch of ice. Also back here in Oklahoma, we have dense fog, along with out here in portions of Arkansas. I know where I live, we had less than 1/10 of a mile of visibility, so it is going to be pretty bad road conditions, even though it's just fog. Also, I expect this area to be the most active for severe weather season. Second most active will probably be across the Ohio Valley into portions of the plains around here, as I am thinking about starting to work on my 2025 severe weather areas. I do expect actually a little bit above average severe weather out here in the Hawaiian Islands, and I do expect at least 3 severe thunderstorm warnings up here in Alaska. But here on the lower 48 half, I do expect this area to be a little bit above average, with this area being a little bit below average for severe weather. I feel that this area should be a little bit above average, and then way down here we should be looking at above average severe weather, I feel. And even well above average, I feel, up here into the northeast. I just feel that we're going to have a very active year. If we go ahead and look out here on our models, we did go over this in the video that we just had, but I thought that we could go over it again. We want to go over here to the CFS. It gives us a bit of a farther out view. It takes it around about half a day at a time. So, as you can tell, it is also on board with our multiple winter storms. But it also agrees that we're going to be getting into this pattern. As you can tell, this very wet pattern across the Central Plains, along with a potential snowy pattern up here in the Northeast with ice storms. One huge thing I would like to point out is the ECMWF is hinting at a pretty major ice storm around the 15th in the Central Plains. Now, do I think this will happen? I'm not saying it will, but I'm not saying it won't. It is pretty intense. It looks like anywhere from about the mid-Atlantic and Northeast all the way back through northern Texas. I would tell you what this CFS is, but I don't know what the CFS stands for, actually. It might be Canadian forecast. And then I don't know what ECMWF actually stands for. I know the ECMWF is the Euro model. Let's see here. Climate forecast system. And then ECMWF. I know the GFS is the global forecast system, I believe. So, integrated forecasting system is the IFS. But they're both like linked together. But as you can tell, pretty heavy snowfall nonetheless, though, out of those. So we do have to watch for that. Let's turn my volume all the way up so we get any alerts. As we were gone, like I probably should have been watching, but we actually did get a special weather statement out here. This is going to be for gusty winds and half-inch hail. If outdoors, seek shelter immediately. It's moving east at 45 miles an hour. If we track this out for you at 45 miles an hour, we're going to see it is going to be arriving around Burkittsville at 8:02, Bow at 8:02, Claywell at 8:08, Willis Creek at 8:12, Long Bottom at 8:21, Alpha at 8:27, Swifton at 8:36, and then last in this track is Hargis at 9:08. As you can tell, we have a total population count of around 40,000 people in that track I just did. make sure to have a tornado action plan in place in case this were to become tornado warned. Luckily, it does not look like we really have strong rotation, but it looks like we might be starting to get a pocket of rotation trying to develop here. All right, thank you, Dominic. It looks like just here in the past couple scans, we've started to get that couplet try and develop. So a couple tornadoes will be possible as stated in that forecast discussion. But yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on this as we could be seeing a little bit of tightening right around here. We gotta look at base velocity. Looks like there's nothing showing up on base velocity. Storm relative velocity. Yeah, there is that little couplet starting to develop there on storm relative velocity. So this could start trying to spin something up. Okay, this is storm relative velocity. That was high res storm relative velocity. Definitely could be a NATO trying to develop, Dominic. Just gotta keep our eye on that. It looks like it is becoming more outflow dominant though with our tail. Pivotal Weather is the software that I use with all the models. As if I go to subscriptions, here's the live sub count too, if it will load. As you can see, we are at 89. We actually did briefly hit 91, but that dropped. But here you go. It is $99.99 a year. It gives you soundings for the European Center for Medium Range Weather Forecasting and the United Kingdom soundings. It'll give you zooms locally. Experimental models, which would include the NWS blend of models, you would get that ad-free viewing along with satellite. So definitely something that I'm thinking into. I'm thinking whether I want to do that yet. I've been thinking about it for a while now. I'm currently having a payment for my phone though at the same time, so I have a bunch of payments. I have all my weather subscriptions. That would just be another $100 on top of my phone payment. So something that I'm definitely looking into is the Pivotal Weather subscription. So it would be something that would be nice to have local zoom, as if we just go ahead and look at models, as you can tell, some models like the GFS, as you can tell, if I click on the local tab up here, you can see all these areas that I could click on if I had Pivotal Weather Plus. So as the commercial plan is actually more expensive for some reason, even though it's got literally the same things. Okay, so it's if you're using it with a business. But luckily I'm not a business. Unless YouTube is a business. Dominic, it is actually a reoccurring payment, $100 a year. I don't think YouTube's a business, so I don't think I need to pay $200. Yeah, it's $10 a month or $100 a year. Which obviously $100 a year is the better deal. So looks like that rotation did kind of die out just a little bit, as it is becoming more outflow dominant. Along with it is starting to get this storm merger. We go back up to high res velocity. Hello, Mr. Twister. So something that we're definitely still having to watch. I probably need to go in about 10 minutes. It's been a while since we've looked at satellite. So let's go ahead and look at yes, your math is correct, Mr. Twister. You do save money over, you save $20 over the course of a year. And I don't think it's necessary either. It is something that I've been thinking about. Oh, it's so laggy for some reason. So, yeah, I'm thinking about it. It's obviously not necessary, but something that we might do in the future. I'll have to talk about it a little bit more. As it obviously would be nice, but obviously nice things cost money. As this is our only storm we're really looking at here in the future that is going to be any threat, as this is really a nocturnal threat. If we go and look at the NAM, and go ahead and zoom in over here in the Ohio Valley, which obviously, as you can tell right here, you have pretty good zoom, but it's going to be more nocturnal threat, as you can tell. Obviously, we don't want to look at winter weather to look at Cape. So as you can tell, instability is more, it's a lot higher to the south. It is going to soar up into Kentucky, but the peak is only going to be around 1,600 joules per kilogram. Significant tornado parameter has jumped up a little bit here in these runs. As you can tell, here overnight, looks like we are going to get the chance for a brief spin-up tornado. Will not be strong if it happens, but definitely something that we have to watch for. If we go ahead and take a sounding, let's go ahead and go back to precipitation. So I make sure to get one before. Make sure it's not contaminated. So let's take one around right here, right now. As you can tell, marginal severe, only a 66-degree slinky. Cap is relatively strong. If we go ahead and take it into the 6 hour 0Z overnight, as you can tell, it's still marginally severe, and the cap is holding very strong. Slinky is about 66 degrees, so something that we have to watch for. I do not predict any tornadoes, though. I feel that tornadoes are going to be highly unlikely, as we aren't even going to see a severe thunderstorm watch out of this. As even with all of this strong shear in it, and it's getting a storm merger, that is really like our only storm that we really have. As you can tell up here, we do have a few storms, but as you can tell, they're both starting to become more outflow dominant. Oh. Well, I'll be waiting for you to get monetized. I'll be hoping that you get monetized here soon and start making money. I'm nowhere close. Only 89 subs. I got a long way to go. Yeah, it always like corrects to super hats or something, or super heats. Yeah, it'll correct sometimes for me as well on that. We actually do have a flood warning here. Yeah, I'm also very surprised that they upgraded to a slight risk. And especially with a 5% tornado threat, too. Like, I felt if they were going to upgrade to a slight risk, it would not have a 5% tornado risk. Because the tornado, yeah, it's at 5%, but the wind is not at its 15%, I believe it is, and neither is the hail. So it is a tornado-driven slight risk, despite very low instability. And although the shear is high, I mean, if we have like the instability that we have at like 500 joules per kilogram, we're not even going to get these storms to be able to keep going. I did too. Yeah, but thank you for saying that you hope I do well, but yeah, it's kind of weird that they went slight risk. If we were going slight, I would have thought it would have been for wind or hail and not for tornadoes. As this storm up here is really killing the storm out here, this Burkeysville storm. It is really losing its strength with the storm merger. We also have blizzard warnings, life-threatening travel conditions. It's only 1 to 4 inches of snow. It'll be lake effect, winds of 55, I believe it said. 2 to 5 inches Thursday afternoon. So in total it'll be about 10 inches. So keep in mind if you are up there into parts of very northern Michigan in that like peninsula, I guess you could say. Alright, I think I'm going to end off stream here, chat. I hope you guys all did enjoy. I guess I will see you guys all in the next one. If not, I will see you guys all in the next video if it's not a live stream. Hope you guys all did enjoy. Make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you are new, as we are close to 100. And just stay safe tonight.